Hi, I'm Tricia, an organic gardener. I grow organically for a healthy and safe food supply, for a clean and sustainable environment, for an enjoyable and rewarding experience. As the West faces the worst drought in decades, we gardeners can do our part to conserve water. The first step is to learn about the water needs of the plants you're growing to avoid overwatering. Not only do different plants have different watering needs, but their needs will change based on the seasons. Evaluate your watering needs based on the plant's needs. How and where you plant will also make a difference to its water needs. Plants planted in a block that get morning sun and afternoon shade will need much less water than plants planted in a row that get full afternoon sun. Base your watering on the stage of the plants. Young seedlings or seeds that are germinating will need to be kept moist, but as their roots grow, they'll need less and less water. As your plant matures, move them to deep, infrequent watering so that the roots will develop. Deep-rooted plants are much more drought-tolerant than shallow-rooted plants. Know the maximum root depth of your plants. For example, if you're growing lettuce, the root depth is about 2 feet. If you're watering for a 4-foot root depth, you're watering too much. On the flip side, if you're watering a deep-rooted plant like a tomato or a pumpkin, as if you only had 2-foot root system instead of a 4-foot root system, the plant will develop a shallow root system and need more frequent waterings to keep it alive. Just as you understand your plants, you need to understand your soil. Different soil types have different moisture needs and will hold water differently. Clay soil holds water very well but absorbs it slowly, so water longer, less frequently, and with low flow emitters. Sandy soil is the exact opposite. Loam soil is somewhere in the middle. Check out our video on soil types for help determining your soil type. Work compost or other organic matter into the soil to improve its water holding capacity. Compost acts like a sponge. After putting organic matter into the soil, apply mulch on the top of the soil. Mulch slows the evaporation of water and keeps the soil cooler. Weed frequently. Don't waste your precious water on weeds. And be smart about when you water. Water between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. when the temperatures are cooler and the sun isn't out. More water will soak in instead of evaporating. And use a timer. Pay attention to the weather. If it's overcast or cool, you can water less. One of the biggest things you can do to conserve water is to use drip irrigation. Drip irrigation, such as buried soaker hoses, efficiently supply water to plants' root zones rather than spraying the water into the air and having some of it evaporate before it ever even reaches the plants. Check out our video on drip irrigation for examples of some of the different types of drip irrigation. Another thing you can do to conserve water is to refrain from introducing any new perennials or trees into the garden. Even natives and drought-tolerant plants require a lot of water when getting established. Plant new landscape plants in the fall when the weather is cool, and hopefully rainfall will contribute to their watering. Consider adding hardscape elements to your garden rather than adding new plants. Pretty garden sculptures don't require any water. If you need to add new plants in the spring, select native and drought-tolerant plants. Rein in the pruning on existing plants. Pruning will create vigorous growth, which is going to require more water. We gardeners can do a lot for water conservation, and you don't have to give up your garden just because of the drought. So be water-wise and grow organic for life. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, share this video, and follow us at the sites below. Don't forget to like this video.